Why do some cooks pound meat with a mallet? 1. Tenderizing. 2. Making milanesas, or dishes such as chicken Q, where you're wrapping the meat around a stuffing. 3. Making a small piece look bigger. At our bistro we used to make milanesas all the time, because the customers would think they're getting a nice slab of meat for $3.50, when in fact it was from a fairly small piece originally. Similar principle as adding milk to scrambled eggs, which does not improve the flavor, and in fact dilutes it. The reason our grannies always did it was because they grew up during the Depression, and maybe had 3 eggs for a family of 5 or 6, so they'd add milk to make it look like a bigger plate of scrambled eggs. Pounding an itty bitty piece of chuck can make it look like a big ol' hanger steak. Sometimes I use a mallet to pound a piece of beef steak or a beef kebab meat gently before cooking, basically to make the meat extra soft and tender. Of course, the best quality meat does not need to be pounded with a mallet. I have read that Genghis Khan used to tenderize meat by placing them under the saddle of his horse while riding. There are 3 reasons. 1. Pounding the meat tenderizes it. 2. You can get meat very thin, while keeping it relatively easier to work with than slicing it. Well, some cuts anyway. 3. It changes the texture of the meat, though you could lump this one with number 1. Any of these, or a combination of them, is sometimes desirable for certain cuts or dishes. It can help the meat cook faster, more evenly. For example, it's very useful for chicken if you're pan frying a piece, as it can cook it more thoroughly since it's thinner, because as you cook meats they tend to shrink up and gets higher, more plumped up, which tends to make the center harder to cook thoroughly since it kind of rises away from the pan, so flattening it can help remedy that as well as tenderizes the meat. Tenderize tough meat cuts. Even the thickness to even cooking like chicken breasts or skirt steaks. Speed cooking like chicken piccata or country fried steak.